that everybody feels for your family. Just, if you could summarize just some of the wonderful things that have been done.
Yeah, no, certainly. And thank you for the chance to do so. You know, it's every day. I was out walking the dog this morning, and neighbor driving out of the neighborhood stopped and let me know that they were praying for us, and that's the type of community we live in St. John's. You know, I think it was immediate, as was shared. You know, we put out the notice. It was on social media, and I mean, Mother's Day, there were families all over the place that dropped all of their plans, and they went out and they were looking. You know, and you heard in some of the statements, immediately after that week, there was a huge vigil in Durbin Crossing the next day. The cheer gyms that she had participated in held vigils. There was a vigil, you know, a year after. A number of different sports programs have actually created awards to recognize the type of teammate that she was. You know, the businesses in the area have been phenomenal. They've, you know, provided my family with a safe place to go after we had funerals, the celebration of life, you know, and the way that Celebration Church gave us that, and even local media in the way that they streamed it, because there were so many people that wanted to go, and giving space for really the teammates in the community to be there. So, you know, those things have happened, and those are the big events. I think the smaller things are the day-to-day. You know, there's a lot of people that still have bows on their homes to represent their support silently. We have people that have, you know, painted rocks, put rocks all over the world. There's just so much really good things that the community has done to keep her name and to make sure she's not forgotten.
I appreciate that. You have a letter today as well?
I actually have two. So the first is, you know, to Mr. Fucci. February 6th, you finally admitted to your guilt in murdering my daughter, Tristyn. After you clearly sat in this room and agreed to all of the questions and statements that were read by the judge and admitted that you knew what you were pleading to, at the end of that, you turned around, or you didn't even turn around, you made an apology. I want to be clear, saying that your insincere apology is not accepted. In no part did I sense any glimmer of any true remorse felt in your apology. Without question, I know that statement was for some self-serving purpose that you have. During all of the proceedings in which we've been present, including these past couple days, at no point in time have I seen anything from you that is any type of remorse. I loathe your very existence and know that there is nothing within you that reflects the smallest amount of goodness or human decency. Your Honor, Judge Smith, I know there's a lot of us, and I know you've had to listen to quite a bit. Foremost, I would like to appreciate the fact that you've taken the time to let us all speak, as well as the time that you're taking in reviewing the statements. The other thing is, you know, I understand that defendants have a right to waive a speedy trial, but I appreciate the fact that you've tried to keep this trial moving, because this is a necessary step for us to get through so that we can move on as a family as well. I like to think that for each of us that have presented or submitted impact statements to you, that's going to give us strength in the days to come as we continue to deal with the loss. I think that you've also heard many different aspects of Tristyn when she was 13. Hearing from Bree yesterday, you recognize hopefully the type of teammate and the impact that she had and what she did with others. I'm sure that from Susan's comments, you can tell that she was the type of classmate and had an impact and, you know, help people that needed that help, and those difficult middle school hallways was a smiling and welcoming face. What likely resounded with you even more were the impacts from Tristyn's friends, both the adults and her contemporaries. She was an incredible person who was comfortable in her own skin and helped people find comfort within their own. The world is in short supply of people like that, and Tristyn was needed. I want to step back and talk to you from the family's perspective once again. A little background on me: I am very proud to be the son of Glenn and Lorraine Bailey. My aunts and uncles and cousins created such an incredible experience in my growing up. My dad was the fifth of 8 children, and seeing the dynamic they had, I knew that was something I hoped for in my life, a large family. When Stacy and I met, she likely had no idea what she was getting into as an only child, yet no one could have been better as the role model of being a phenomenal mother to a large family. We were sure to tell each of our kids that a sibling can be a gift like none other. The relationship is so incredibly unique. I am so blessed to have children that treasure one another as well as mine do. I know you heard this from each of them that spoke today. Yet my daughter Sophia was not ready to do so, which I completely understand. It is an impossible task to ask her to summarize the loss of her sister. They had the most unique relationship. While so much has been shared on how Tristyn encouraged others, Sophia likely was Tristyn's biggest supporter and fueled her confidence. Sophia was always looking and taking care of Tristyn. Sophia's biggest impact of losing Tristyn will lie in the days and years to come. Sadly, I know the tremendous loss that they will have to bear in losing a sibling, as I lost my brother January 13th, 2001. He is with me constantly, and the regret and unfulfilled plans we had together. Since Tristyn was taken with us, I have not been able to look in on my parents as I should, just as it haunts me what my children are going to endure with the loss of their sister. So often our calls with my parents end with them trying to figure out any way that they can help, anything that they can do, yet they know that from the loss of my brother, I will carry Tristyn's loss with me always. Within our family, Stacy does an impeccable job of dealing with the critical items that come in on the day-to-day. Oftentimes I'm brought in to deal with some of the bigger problems and find our path forward. I've always been able to fulfill that role until now. There are no solutions. There's just trying to move forward and carry her with us. During so many hard times, the advice to just breathe or realize that this too shall pass is appropriate. This will not pass. I can't even answer with certainty on how we'll continue to handle all the counseling and related bills that are some of the concerns, as we've had well in excess of $36,000 just in counseling-related bills. You heard from one of her friends who keeps texting her cell phone. We still pay her cell phone every month because she has a lot of friends that are still sending messages to her. Throughout our married life, I've been able to look Stacy in the eye and assure her through any difficult time that everything will be all right, and it has. With respect to Tristyn, I can't do that. It is all well known within my family that Stacy loves the early years with the kids. For me, it's always been that the older they get, the more they come to me. Yes, I love teenagers. Tristyn and I would have some of the best conversations on the ride home from practice. Her view of the world was fascinating. She had such a keen focus on seeing the best within people. She also appreciated the importance of everything you have to invest on the path to your goals. You see, it wasn't just about the competitions. She loved practice. While she talked to being a doctor, the concepts she was learning were more important in our talks than the grades. The continued expansion of our relationship with our time together has been obliterated. Stacy and I feel directionless. We are so far behind on so many things in life, from the trivial to the important. Even our life path, such as when I will retire, is in complete disarray when the baby is taken from the family. I always figured when she graduated from college, Stacy and I could enjoy travels and looking in on our family wherever life took them. Now I just don't know. Just don't know about so many things. I've lost my sense of self. Good friend of mine who lost their son described feeling like a zombie. It is a description that has stuck with me, as that is what I feel like. Going through the motions, hoping that you get everything right. Even when you get assurances that you are, you just doubt it. Despite what anyone says, when you lose a child, your life becomes ongoing questions of doubt. The grief will not go away. Tristyn's birthday every January 18th is going to hurt. Every Mother's Day, that sacred family day, will have its painful moments. Every May 9th will hurt to remember what happened to our Tristyn. The anniversary dates are always difficult. As you know from the way too many parents that you've spoke to in your courtroom, the pain and triggers happen every day. Every day upon waking up is a cruel reminder that she is gone. Within our family, we had our tradition of Bailey Family Fun Day. No event in the world it was as dear to me as our family dinners, and everyone would make it there on Sunday. Every Sunday is filled with hurt as the day she was ripped from us. It hurts us to the core to sit in my chair at the head of the table and have our baby not in her chair, but in an urn sitting on a shelf in front of me. My dreams of enjoying the big family reunion similar to those I grew up with have been stolen from us. As I said before, every family holiday we know, Tristyn should be there with us. Everything has that cast of what if over it. I am so proud of the resiliency and strength that my children have had since that day. Each of them have managed to have incredible accomplishments while going through this grieving process. It's difficult because it hurts to feel good without her here. And they have just been so incredible in continuing to move forward and carrying her with them. It's emotionally exhaustive to not allow the grief to overcome the positive. Your Honor, I'm hoping that you can see that he impacted all 7 of us for life. I would also remind you of the testimony from the medical examiner that he essentially killed Tristyn 7 times. 6 stabs that in and of themselves were lethal. The other 108 cumulative would have been lethal. From what Alexis and Stacy shared, you can only begin to imagine how the pain he put her through stays with us. Your Honor, we cannot turn back the hands of time so that we can have a different outcome. We cannot bring my Tristyn back. We cannot even be certain that the sentence you give on Friday will not be impacted as part of the 25-year review process. Yet you can deliver justice for our community. He took Tristyn's life. He impacted all Tristyn's family for life. You've heard how he shattered the innocence of childhood so many in our wonderful community for their life and the lives of their children. He even damaged the sanctity of Mother's Day for so many for their lives. Please, Your Honor, take this into consideration when you have to make your decision. Lastly, I want to place this rock. And this rock represents the loss to our family and the world for all of the good Tristyn would have done. Thank you for your time.